Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. It's lunchtime, it's Thursday, it's a blue-skied autumn day here in Sydney, and I'm about to go on a walk and talk and reveal a book summary, yet another book summary where we can learn OPE, other people's experiences, and hopefully try and incorporate them into our own experience. So as you can see, it's a nice old blue sky day, and I absolutely love it. As I've said before, for me, autumn is without doubt the best time of year here in Sydney. Here in Australia, we tend to have pretty ordinary summers, but when it comes to autumn, it's always perfect. So what are we going to talk about today? Which book summary are we going to go through? The book summary that I've chosen to go through now at lunchtime is the book entitled The Art of Travel. The Art of Travel, and the author is Alain de Botton. Alain de Botton, who is going to take us on his own little journey on the art of travel. So the author kicks off the book with a lovely little quote, which I agree with. I wholeheartedly agree with, and I find it absolutely brilliant and to the point. He said that the pleasure we derived from journeys is perhaps dependent more on the mindset with which we travel than on the destination we travel to. I'll let that sink in. But what the author here is reminding us about is it's all about the mindset of the traveller, rather than where we travel to. So I've got a little spider here on my notes. I don't know if you can see him. Little spider there joining me for this 5 a.m. club. I'll just hope that he doesn't crawl up my arm, but we'll see how we go. So it's all about mindset. So a mindset of curiosity, a mindset of I guess flexibility are always keys to travelling and getting the most out of our travel. So the first structured point that comes out of this book here is that travel doesn't work as an escape, because your biggest problems come from inside. So for those who try to go on holidays, who do things to escape, the lesson that this author wants to share with us is that you're never going to offload those problems until you deal with them, because those problems are coming from inside of us. The problems are part of our mindset, part of our inner being, and regardless of where you travel to or how often you go, the escape may be temporary, but the problems will keep on dogging you wherever you go. So the bottom line here, once again, from what the author is trying to suggest to us, is that travel isn't a cure to any of our really important problems. So for those who look forward to travel in order to escape their problems, the harsh reality is those deep-seated problems, those big problems that we have, are not going to disappear or go away. If anything, they're just going to haunt you while you're traveling, and you're not going to get the most out of that travel experience that you were hoping for. Because travel is a poor form of escapism, according to the author, because at the end of the day, you'll still be you. You'll still be you, and you'll still have the problems that you have inherited or have created in your own mind. So the other challenge that we face when we travel is we often dream up high expectations of faraway destinations, but especially if they're distractions from our own flaws, and all they can do at the end of the day is just create a disappointment because they never live up to the expectation that we've built up. And the other thing also is that we're always fooled by the travel brochures, because it's only until we get there that you realise that the pictures that they've included in the travel brochures, or the pictures that appear on Instagram and all these other places, in many ways are doctored, are enhanced, are touched up, which change the reality. So it's not really as it is, but it's a fictitious or a made-up reality. And I often drive past, or in the past I would always come over the bridge and admire the huge passenger ships that were parked up here at the International Passenger Terminal during summer, and there'd be one coming in every couple of days with people travelling from all over the world to experience a beautiful Sydney summer. And for many of those times where I'd be crossing the bridge, I'd be looking down and saying, those poor fellas, those poor people on that cruise, because it'd be overcast, it'd be raining, it'd be stormy, and it'd be one of those terrible, terrible summer Sydney days where instead of brilliant sunshine like we've got today, it was just cloud and sheeting rain and thunder, and not a really good experience at all. So the second point that this author talks about is that when you're travelling, especially in these days, there's no use in learning facts while travelling anymore, because the author considers it to be a waste of time, because we need to discover modern ways of exploring, because these days all the information you need is available at a click on Google, so you don't need to read up on where you're going, because at the click of a button, while you're there or before you get there, you can find out as much as you want about the place that you're travelling to. But the author also says that style of travelling also has its downside, because we tend to get fat fatigued, which is a real travel issue for most people, especially when you get older. The last thing you want to do is to be travelling and to have people bombarding you with different facts and different things to learn about the different places you travel to, because when we're travelling, we always get sensory overload. So we're overloaded and exhausted because all of our senses are engaged at the same time. The different sights, the different smells, the different sounds, the different feelings that you get. Everything is so different, and you basically physically get overwhelmed by all these differences, and you tend to then zone out and get tired of information presented, and basically don't really get to enjoy that destination as much as what you thought you would when you were preparing for that trip. How many times have we travelled somewhere only to feel let down, only to feel that it doesn't quite live up to its stated value? A lot of people always say the same thing, and you go to places where you don't expect all that much, and they're just absolutely fantastic, because you don't expect much and they deliver more than what you're expecting. So another trick that the author is talking to us about is not to set high expectations, and to basically forget the postcodes, the photographs, and just to try and live in that experience and not have plans, but just make the most of what you come across when you come across it. And that way you're creating your own new reality as opposed to trying to shape something which is not there. So being present while you travel. The other interesting thing that the author talks about here, which I hadn't considered before, is that when you're on holidays and you're constantly taking photos of this, that and the other, the photos actually take us out of the moment. But if you really want to extend and express the moment and make the most of your holiday, the author says that the best thing you can do is sit down with a blank piece of paper and a few pencils and to do drawing. Because when you draw a scene, you have more time to process it with all your senses and your mind. Simply put, and this is a great point for all of those who love traveling, the longer you take to process your travel experience and your travel experiences, the more fondly you'll remember them. Because it's all a matter and it's all about a state of mind that makes and creates those special moments, those fond memories from when you're on holidays. So the thing that I'm starting to appreciate even more is this vlogging thing that I'm doing is allowing me not only to be in the moment, to describe where I am, to picture where I am, to capture the moment. I can also indulge all of my senses by explaining what I'm doing, where I am, being creative about the content that I deliver in a particular place, and be able to use and highlight the beauty of the location and overlay it with a lesson, a memory, a sensory overload, an opportunity for others to vicariously go on this journey with me and make the most of it, not only for myself, but for others and for future generations. Because well after I'm gone, I am sure that my family will, and friends potentially, and third parties may be able to take what I'm capturing today and what I've been capturing throughout 2020 and use that as the wind beneath their wings and an opportunity for them too to live, learn and pass it on. Let's finish up with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. Thanks for joining me today on Jim's 5am Club, where we discovered another book summary where we could talk about The Art of Travel by Alain de Botton. And wishing you all, wishing everybody that we stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and can we learn to make the most of our travels, and to know that the bottom line is the state of mind that we travel with is more important than the destination and the journey that we go on. So it's important to be curious, it's important to be flexible, it's important to be open, and more importantly, it's important to be present in that place, in that time slot, so you can make the most of the experience and create fond, beautiful memories for you to enjoy, and also for the loved ones around you through shared experiences. Take care, Filakia, from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again later this afternoon, where I'll try and deliver a couple more of my Jim's 5am Clubs so that I keep my average up and do about 3 to 5. I'll try and knock out 5 today because I need to have about 4 a day in order to reach my 1,000 by my 61st birthday. Yassas, take care, and until we chat again, Stay well. Bye for now.